Hi, welcome to Fanboy and Critic, our show where we go and watch new movies out in theaters and tell you what we think of them. This week we're actually watching Game of Thrones, and we don't really need a reason why, because it's Game of Thrones. This is episode 3 of season 8. I don't really know what the title is. They kind of keep that under wraps. So last week, they kind of just set up a lot of what was coming. We basically anticipate a lot of deaths. Who do you think is going to die? What do you think is going to happen? Obviously, there's going to be some sort of a battle here. I think the runtime is almost an hour and a half, so something's got to happen versus last week.
Like I was saying, I definitely think everyone that was drinking that wine in that room under that fire is definitely going to die. Except for Jaime, because he is my favorite character, so I don't want him to die.
You think even Podrick's going to die?
Yeah, Podrick.
Come on, it's Podrick.
Podrick, I'm sorry, you're not knighted yet, you're dead.
Even Tyrion, who's in the crypts?
Yeah, I mean, the crypts, they're all full of dead bodies.
Yeah, that's one of my predictions too. Like, the Night King can bring people back alive from the dead. You're putting all your, undefendable people next to dead bodies? Come on, you gotta think. I think there's gonna be a lot of deaths, hopefully. I don't know, they've sort of shied away from killing a lot of the more important characters over the last couple seasons. So I think there's gonna be a lot of deaths. I think Brienne's gonna go for sure. Like, come on, you don't get that happy moment in Game of Thrones without just completely being obliterated next episode. I think this is gonna be it for the Night King. I think the war with the Night King is gonna be over, and then the rest of it is just gonna be the actual war for the throne.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I mean, you were saying it. You think this is the end of this war, and it's definitely gonna have to end this episode.
But there's gonna be a lot of costs to it, so.
Yeah.
We'll see. How many dragons do you think are going to survive this?
Maybe one.
Maybe one?
Maybe one. I think 2 of them are going down.
I think my ice dragon's going to take out your boys, Drogon and Rhaegal. I got the ice dragon in my fantasy pool, so I want him to do well. I think he's actually going to do pretty well, but ultimately I think he's going to go down because I think this is the end of the Night King's army. Holy shit.
Our minds are blown.
Woo!
Our minds are freaking blown.
Oh my god, that was an amazing episode. It was totally worth last week nothing happening for this episode. It's so crazy. So we start off the battle. Man, the Red Witch comes up and originally, you were there, I was like, there's no way she's gonna be a good guy now. Yeah. She just walks out of the army of the dead just to show up and what? And she turns all the Dothraki swords.
Which was awesome. I thought that was
yeah.
That got me so hyped up for the war.
I was like, yeah, Dothraki, get some. And then immediately they're just like, nope, Dothraki are now shit.
Yeah.
For some reason.
They literally, you just see them one by one, all those swords just disappearing into darkness.
It was an amazing visual. Yeah. I think a lot of it, I think it just was, they were just trying to make a point look, these guys aren't as strong as you think you are. The Army of the Dead is way stronger. And then they just kept doing that throughout the episode. Yeah, you guys may have won a small battle, but look, there's just an unending wave of these guys.
Yeah, there's just too many of them, regardless of what warriors you bought or soldiers. There's just too many. They were everywhere. They just kept stacking on them. I mean.
Yeah, and then they hit the outer defenses where all the Unsullied were, and it is almost immediately, they just basically hit the first wave, and then they're like, retreat. We got to get out of here. And they all came back in the doors, and then basically Grey Worm just sacrificed his entire group of people just to retreat.
Whatever plan they had did not work. Everything just kept falling and falling and falling.
Well, I think a lot of their plan relied on Dany and Jon waiting until the Night King came out to attack, and Dany was just too emotional. She got into it. She's like, all my Dothraki that followed me from the beginning, they're all gone now. And I don't know, man. I don't think she's a great commander at battle. She just has dragons that are just too strong for most armies. But when this came along, it was just
she's
not the smartest tactical mind. And honestly, I think the cost of this battle should have been a little higher. We lost some named characters. We lost Jor the Andal. We lost Cuono. We lost Beric Dondarrion. We lost Lyanna Mormont. Oh, man.
She went out like a G. I was happy for her.
Dolores Ed died. It's assumed, I think, Ghost is gone. Ghost went out with the Dothraki and did not come back.
True. Poor Ghost.
I mean, the way the last couple seasons have shaped up, he probably got like plot armor saved just because the fans want him to live so much. But honestly, the cost was relatively low. I feel like.
Yeah, that's probably the most disappointing part about this. Was I expected a lot more deaths.
Yeah.
So what pissed me off the most was the Hound in this episode.
He's always afraid of fire, though.
Well, actually, no. Bran definitely pissed me off.
Bran was his usual annoing self.
Yeah, but the Hound, like, you gotta get over this fire thing already. Like, you're literally about to die. It's the end of the world, and he can't do nothing.
He didn't care though. He's like, we can't fight death. Don't you see they're going to win? And Beric Dondarrion's like, get it together, man. And then Beric dies.
Yeah, Beric. He had it coming. I mean, he
had it coming.
How many times has he been brought to life?
Yeah.
Several times.
Well, like, he died in that room, and then the Red Witch showed up, and I was like, oh, she might bring him back again. And then she was like, no, he's served his purpose. His purpose was to save Arya. And I was like, yes, my prediction. Close the 3 eyes. We can flash back to the other one.
Foremost, Arya is going to kill all of those dragons. All of them. Not at the same time, grant you. One by one. She will close 3 eyes forever. A blue set, a green set, a brown set.
I don't know where Dany and Jon are doing all this, because they seem to be they just show up eventually, and they're not killing any White Walkers.
Yeah.
Like, I'd just be spraying everything with fire.
Yeah, I expected a lot more of that going on. And you would really think that they would burn over their own dead bodies too.
Yeah, that was an oversight by Dany's admittedly not very tactical.
Yeah.
But I think at this point, like, the dragons had fallen, and so Jon and Daenerys were both off their dragons. And Viserion the Ice Dragon had bucked the Night King, but he's still causing havoc.
Yeah.
But then everybody in the crypt is just fucked, which we could all see from a mile away. And then Sansa and Tyrion, though, like, that whole time, what did you think they were gonna do? They were just hiding there.
You know what? When they brought their swords out or their daggers out, I almost assumed that they were gonna start fighting. But it just looked like they were trying to escape, right?
Yeah, they were just trying to run out. And then Tyrion just, like, kind of hid in the pocket there. And Sansa was like, let's go! But it's like, that felt really unnecessary. Like, they could have just hid it out and nobody would have been like, they should have had their moment. Like, no. They really aren't combatants. Like,
yeah,
really...
she received the dagger from Arya and was instantly like, what do I do with this?
Exactly. I mean, it was unnecessary to show that part, but, you know, it happened. Not the worst thing in the world. And then, come down to it, Theon is holding it down in the Godswood.
Thank God. He served a good purpose.
Yeah, he came out in the end to be a better character, and then they definitely had to have that moment where Bran's like, you're a good man, Theon. He's like, yes! Yes! I'm a good man!
He instantly grew his pair of balls back.
Oh, Lyanna's death, though. When she killed that giant.
Yeah. Man,
that was one character that just, like, never really should have happened in the show. Mm-hmm. But the actress is so badass. They're just like, listen, we have to.
And she went out like a G. I mean, she took out their biggest, besides the dragon, their biggest ally, the freaking giant.
It's all the ladies, I'm telling you. The ladies are the strongest ones. It's
just clicking. Ow.
When Arya just jumps out of nowhere. I don't know where she was. I'll probably question it later, but I don't care right now because it's awesome. Just out of nowhere, just like, Night King! And then the Night King just turns around. And then...
I
was like, oh, shit.
I stopped breathing. Yeah, I stopped breathing at that very moment.
But then she pulls the move she did with Brienne where she just drops a dagger, catches it with her other hand, goosh!
That was the end game right there.
They were in the end game.
Yeah.
What do you think Brienne was doing that whole time where he was like, his eyes were like white? He was obviously doing something while the whole thing was happening.
That's true. That bastard. He was doing nothing that entire time.
But he was working, doing something, but we don't know what it was.
Damn, I really don't know. I mean, they didn't even give a clue to it. I mean, what, he turned into some ravens, they flew off somewhere.
Well, he uses the ravens to scout before.
Maybe he was just leading the way to say, hey, I'm right here, but they didn't go into any specifics?
No. I don't know. My only theory is that maybe he was, like, trying to block some of the Night King's powers.
Okay.
Or, like, distract a lot of these other players so that Arya could get up close.
Yeah, they're never... Well, maybe they'll explain it in the next episode.
Yeah. But then John's such an idiot. He goes up to the Night King, and then all of these, like, lowly little, like, one-shot zombies rise up, and he's like, oh no! I'm like, just charge! Get the Night King! You can do it right now! And he just waits too long. But then his, like, first thought is like, okay, I'm gonna go kill this dragon. And I was so ready for him to go out. Like, no offense, but John, to me, is a boring character. All he does is brood. And then he just, like, goes up to fight a dragon, and I was like, okay, I'd like to see this happen. I want to see the dragon take him out. That would be amazing. That would be the cost of this battle that I think is appropriate.
Yeah, there was very close moments where the dragon could have got him, but he just, like Jon Snow, always gets lucky.
He's got plot armor, man. Like, I really think he should have gone. It would have been like a good cost to the battle, but, you know, at this point, there's so many characters that just can't die because that doesn't serve the purpose of what they want to happen in the story. We still have 3 episodes left. So now they really have to regroup with like nobody and take out Cersei's army, who she has 20,000 of the Gold Company. No elephants, but 20,000 of the Gold Company. She's got, you know, thousands of Ironborn ships. She's got King's Landing. She's got the whole Lannister army. Not to mention Bronn. And she's got the Scorpions that can kill dragons, who are already wounded. So what do you think? Where do they go from here? They have like no army left.
Stuff me. I mean, obviously they are definitely going to be going back, but I'm pretty sure they're going to have a plan in place. I mean, Jaime already knows that Cersei... I mean, everyone knows that Cersei is totally against them, and her plan is actually working out as planned.
Yeah, Cersei's doing the smart thing.
Yeah, so I honestly don't know what they're going to do. Maybe wait it out. I mean, that's what I would do. Make sure everyone's ready to go for war again. You
can't wait out winter, man. And their home is destroyed.
True.
They have nobody left. Like, literally, all they can do is they should go to the Riverlands because the Blackfish is there with his army. But the Blackfish really doesn't want to do anything besides hold Riverrun at this point.
Yeah, that's always been their kind of thing.
I think what comes next is they take the dragons and just trying to burn the Red Keep down. Like, literally, I don't think the Golden Company can touch those dragons. They have the Scorpions, but the dragons just stay high enough, burn the Red Keep. You know.
What are the Scorpions?
The Scorpions are the thing Bronn used to, like, shoot the one dragon, like the giant crossbows.
Okay.
I don't think there's much they can do about the dragons, but they literally have no, like, foot force whatsoever. So it's that, or maybe they try and infiltrate King's Landing and go into, like, a real close-end battle with, like, their 20 named character versus, like, you know, a bunch of guards and the mountain, and I don't know. Who knows what happens from here. But I did call that the war with the Night King would be done by this episode.
And it happened.
And that Arya would kill the dragon, which she kind of did. She closed those blue eyes.
Just not
called it.
I mean, people survived who I thought was gonna die. The Night King's done. I don't know. This show's killing me.
It's almost over. You can make it till the end. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, check out some of our other videos like Game of Thrones Risk, and we will see you next week for episode 4 of season 8, Game of Thrones.
2 more left.
3
more left.